When you want only the best for your pet, check out AbbybellPetDesigns.com. We offer quality products such as floppy beds, crate pads, round pet beds, pillow slip covers, belly bands, and more. All products come in a variety of colors and sizes, guaranteed to satisfy your pet's particular style. Your pet deserves to be pampered, so shop at AbbybellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the item you want listed in our shop, just drop us a line and we'll be glad to make the product of your pet's dreams. AbbybellPetDesigns.com. Good Tuesday morning. How was everybody doing? Hey Denise, good to see you. Hey Monique, good morning. Great to see you again. We are camping since last Friday and we'll be back on Friday, but I just got a signal. Praise God, I can see you today. Awesomeness. Wow, out there camping yet again. Hey Marlene, hey Brandon. Lori, good to see you. Monique is camping but watching us today. Hey Beck. Can't believe how many camping trips she takes. I know it's just to make me jealous. Hey Robin, good morning. How is everybody doing? It's Tuesday, believe it or not, it's Tuesday. Haven't seen you in a while, Beck. Good to see you. I know. Hey Renee, Noel, hello, good morning. Carmen, good morning. If everybody would please retweet this in case people didn't get their notifications. I'm great. Hey, Alan. Been working. A good reason not to be online. All right. I'm going to really quickly read Psalm 54 and then we'll get started. Save me, O God, by your name and vindicate me by your strength. Hear my prayer, O God. Give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers have risen up against me, and the oppressors have sought after my life. They have not set God before them. Behold, God is my helper. The Lord is with those who uphold my life. He will repay my enemies for their evil. Cut them off in your truth. I will freely sacrifice to you. I will praise your name, O Lord, for it is good. For he has delivered me out of all trouble, and my eye has seen its desire upon my enemies. Amen. We have our nieces and sister-in-law and my husband's brother-in-law with us, and it's awesome. Just thought I would say so. I can only imagine, Monique. I can only imagine. Don't forget that today at 1 o'clock is God's Views on Political News. That would be on the Facebook page of the same name. And that's again at 1 p.m. Eastern, where you can submit your comments, ask questions during the live video. Later on, afterwards, after the show, I will post the show at SusanKnowles.com. So hopefully you'll be able to join us. Hey Renee, I see Renee's like getting kicked off every time she tries to get on. Hopefully people aren't getting kicked off and on here. God's Views on Political News. Yes, on Facebook. And we're hoping in, as soon as we can grow and things like that, to get it on other platforms as well, which would be a really good thing. All right, I think people are slow again in coming on, which seems to be what they're doing. Republicans are going down today. No, they're going down to vote, sweetheart, but you can go back down to the basement. There you go. Wow, starting off just like really quickly here on, Troll City. Today is election day. Hey, Patrick, good to see you. Have you discussed Twitter reps being summoned to testify in Washington? Not yet. Nope. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Julia. Good to see everybody. We've got trolls in here already, it seems. Today is election day. Vote red. Back to the basement for you. That's right. Back they go. Vote if you're unsure who to vote for. Straight Republican ticket. Can't go wrong. There you go. I've been out of touch with the news since last Thursday. Can you believe that? So glad I'm here today. Sometimes it's good to be out of touch with the news. Well, welcome, funny-looking trolls. I know, Barbara. Came up out of the basement for that one last time before they have to be sent off to school. Hey, Lynn. Hope everybody is doing well. Going to vote right after this Periscope. Very good, Lori. Hope everybody will go out and keep that red wave going. We have disgusting people like Rosie O'Donnell, who was standing out in front of the White House yesterday protesting, holding little treason signs, and talking about how President Trump, the only reason that he appears to have the supporters that he does at the rallies is because they're paid to be there, which we all know is BS. And she said that he is loathed by everyone in America, which again is BS. I think, upon retrospect, I think she was talking about herself, and maybe that's what she got her confused. Straight ticket all the way Republican. That's right, Monique. Never vote Democrat. I thought she's moving. Yeah, she's moving all right in front of the White House. Yeah, I think Madonna moved to Portugal, if that story is true. Julia says Rosie is delusional. Yes, I believe that. I believe that. Voting where? California. Not in California, Brandon. We've already had our primaries. Voting, I know, in Arizona and who else is voting today? Ohio. Hate how libs speak in terms like everyone, all. I know, Barbara. No one paid me. I loved every minute of it. I should have paid him. I know, Beck. Ohio and Arizona. I believe, Barbara. We can only pray Madonna stays gone. Michigan primary too, and Lori said. Yeah, Madonna moved to England a long time ago, and then she came back, and then she, I'm going to move because of the president. No, I think you're probably just going to move because that's what you like. You like Europe and other places. I do want to go to a rally, Barbara said. I know. They all should have kept their promise and moved out of the country if Trump won. I know, Robin. That would have been great. To have those people gone would have been great. Last night, the West Hollywood City Council voted unanimously to have Donald Trump's star on the Walk of Fame removed. Okay, boo-hoo. They're going to now send that over to the mayor, hey Teresa, and try to get him to follow through and remove the star. There has been talk in the past that they would never remove a star for any reason, just because people didn't want it there. So we'll see what happens. Losing the voice already. Moved on what basis? Because, Brandon, because of his, what was it exactly they said? Because of his disgusting behavior with women or something like that. Let me see if I can find it. Due to his disturbing treatment of women and other actions. All the disturbing treatment of women that is hearsay. That pisses me off, Carmen said. Was it continuously vandalized? It's been vandalized twice, I think, Brandon. And you know what? If it's vandalized 1,000 times, just keep repairing it and putting it back. I said they will remove the star to build him a monument. Yep, they remove all the stars. Exactly. Apparently, the Chamber of Commerce in the city of Los Angeles has say over West Hollywood. Yeah. Pickaxe, yes. Good morning, my lovely Sue and Lady Gracie. The school that LeBron James said that he financed was incorrect. The taxpayers paid half of it. Yeah, that's what I heard too. So LeBron James, everybody, I'm giving accolades to LeBron, and found out we're paying for half of it. Yeah, put him on Mount Rushmore. Put President Trump on Mount Rushmore. Well, no offense to the crew, but any man could be accused of that, and some women. Exactly, Barbara. And being accused is not the same thing as being convicted. Being charged does not mean you are guilty. He is totally using sports to sway politics. Exactly. And everybody's going out to LeBron's defense. Oh, you poor baby. He said that about you. You poor thing. And now we find out that what LeBron said wasn't really true. Haley, that half of it's being paid by the taxpayers. Because, as we know, nothing is free. Plus, every star there is probably guilty. Guilty of something, Barbara, no doubt. He's a grown man, for goodness sakes. I know, Brandon. Ugh. But that doesn't matter in the liberal world. Everybody's a baby. I've been reading more and more, and I've told you guys this for a long, long time, but I've been reading more and more how women are primed and set and ready to kind of like take over in politics. and that this is the time to do it. And if they do, they're going to be really powerful and be really powerful positions in Congress. This has been something that has been worked on for a long time now, to move women to the forefront, to take the men out of the picture. The men are being taken out of the picture in probably every realm of society in that liberal world. There was a big pedo bust in Hollywood. I don't know, Beck. I mean, typically that happens a lot in Hollywood, so there's another bot. So anyway, I'm interested to see if more people will be removed from social media platforms on the right. Candace said he played right into their hands by his final thought. Cannot say it, but use the... I don't know, Barbara, what you were saying, but anyway. Yeah, I think, okay, so Alex Jones has been permanently banned. Inward, her interview with Daniel. Don't you know it? All the secrets that died with those stars when Elmeyer was in charge. Is it bad that I still like a masculine, strong man? Yes, Renee, there's something wrong with you. You need to get with the program. You need to become a feminist. You need to start hating men. So that's what you're supposed to be doing right now. And men's rights don't matter. Only yours do. And you should hate all men, especially white men. That's what the liberal agenda is right now. And you're not with the program. Probably won't happen. The term hate speech is being used a lot. Who determines that? Exactly. Liberals. Anything against liberals are hate speech. Is hate speech. Anything that you say about a black person is hate speech. LeBron James is one example. Talking about him, people were just so up in arms because, oh, well, you're racist. You're a racist. No, he just happens to be a black man, and we don't like some of the things that he does. And therefore, they want to silence you by not allowing you to speak about him because he's black. They took Alex Jones off LinkedIn too. Wow. Renee, they're serious about getting rid of Alex Jones. And you know, the thing, I've heard other people talking about this too, and I agree. I'm not an Alex Jones fan, never have been. I don't like some of the conspiratorial stuff that he does. But as I said yesterday, I think that, Tommy Robinson has been deleted from Instagram. I think that people have a right to listen to whatever they want to listen to, within reason, you know, not breaking the laws. You can't go watch child porn and things of that nature. And I also think that Alex Jones, even though he's conspiratorial and all that, he's a big conservative supporter. Alex was removed from Pinterest. He was there in the first place. I do know that Alex Jones is on Gab now because Gab announced that yesterday. Robin said, I don't like Alex Jones, but he has a right to freedom of speech. Yes, exactly, Robin. And, you know, for all those people on the left, I'm sure, sitting there and cheering this, they don't understand they could be next. Sorry, but I love a man that knows to open the door for a woman and place her order after she tells him, Carmen said. Yeah, Gab says no censor. Exactly, Barbara. And the thing of it is, I mean, if you look at it, what's happening in our society, men are being minimalized. He had 2.4 million YouTube subscribers. Yeah. You know, I mean, honestly, the best thing that we could do would be to get off all of those, Beerback comments disappeared again. Wow, Renee. To get off all of those platforms and just let those platforms, you know, peter out, as they say. But that's not going to happen, and they know that. Even censoring veterans and LAO tweets. Yeah, Leo tweets, law enforcement. I mean, anything and anybody that's conservative is going to get censored eventually. All conservatives, anybody that upholds the law, anybody that has rational, reasonable thought, and I think pretty much a lot of men. Yes, vote with dollars, views, and usage. Yep. Again, and the men, I know a lot of guys are just sitting back going, oh, that's never going to happen. It's happening. It is happening. They've been talking about men for a long time. But now they're taking action. Yeah, speak the name of Jesus. And see, Marlene, pretty soon that won't be allowed because Jesus was a man. And so there's going to be a war on Jesus as well, and there already is, persecuting Christians and shutting down Christianity. It doesn't vibe with the whole I'm my own God, God is me, and that type of thing. You know, God is it's not a gender. God is, you know, whatever the case may be. Good morning, Susan, and everyone in the scope. God bless you, and Magag. There you go. Thanks, Junior. Hey, Teresa. Good morning. Because the normal everyday person is in the frying pan, but do not realize that they are being fried. Yep. Yeah, Mother Earth. That's right, Carmen. They argue that Facebook is a private company and First Amendment doesn't apply. And that's true, Brandon. It is true. But what happens if you have a monopoly and people are being discriminated against? Then we got a little bit different, like an antitrust type situation. Boiling frogs. That's right. One of LeBron James' tweets were laced with profanity about POTUS, and he is a role model while people in my country put him on a pedestal. Yep. So they will keep the mediums going. Yeah, just that. See, that's the thing. They came for Alex, and I did nothing. Exactly, original. And that's the thing. You know, you've got role models. Now, the role models that are respected, unfortunately, in our society, are the ones that have FU on their T-shirts when they're children, and also profanity laced. That's the kind of role models that your children are seeing these days. They really do not understand what patriots are doing for them. No, they don't get it, Barbara, and they don't care. Because number one, they don't like patriots. Number two, they don't think patriots is a good thing. But left claims internet is a human right. Exactly. Demoralization. Yeah. Honestly, again, I hope Alex Jones comes back bigger, better, stronger. And again, as I say this, I'm not a big Alex Jones fan. I'm not. Never have been. But he has a right, like everyone else. And I hope he comes back strong. It will happen to Christians, Robin said. Yeah, absolutely, Robin, it will. And it's happening now. So, the only way that we can counteract this stuff is to speak up. I hope lawyers go after the biased platforms. And from what I heard, they already are, Brandon. They already are. You still support another patriot. Exactly. The joke at the end of the show was Trump cartoons saying no one under 70 was in power. Carmen said, when these companies take government money and are lobbyists for parties, they are no longer private. Yeah, well, it depends upon how much connection they have with the government, if that can be proven. That's what usually happens when they ban someone. It backfires, makes them bigger. Yep. I hope they got a lawyer who isn't biased. Yeah, Brandon, I've heard about the lawyer, and supposedly that lawyer isn't biased. I don't remember. I think it's a she. Don't remember her name, but it seems like so far she's doing a pretty good job. But we can see how. I mean, you look at that. I hope the judge isn't biased. Yeah, that too. We have YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, LinkedIn. Would never buy the Inquirer, but they have a right to print. We grew up knowing they were fake. Exactly, Barbara. Exactly. And the Star, too. I deleted Facebook, Original said. Probably a good thing to do, Original. I think a lot of people are getting off of Facebook. Yeah, or the Onion, exactly. They're getting off of Facebook because if you go to Facebook now, you'll notice, and at least with me, I see the same people and the same comments over and over. I've got more than 1,000 people following me on my personal page on Facebook, and I see maybe 5 people over and over and over again. And I have to go searching for people if I want to see what they're saying. When used to, I would see them all the time. The Inquirer has actually gotten stories more accurate than MSM. That's true. The whole app is a repeat bot. Yep. Hate speech is not mentioned in the First Amendment. It was made up by the left, as everything else is. And neither is some other things that end up being adjudicated by the court. Facebook wants financial records of users. I heard that they were contacting banks. And I didn't know if that was true or not, Lynn. You have to set the person to be first in your. I do, Beck. But I typically it doesn't work. And how many people can you set to be first? You have to go through your whole group and set them to be first. I mean, it's ridiculous. I see the same too. The only reason I'm still on Facebook is for family and friends that live out of town. Yeah, I know, Robin. It's getting to be ridiculous. Ditto with Lee. I have Perry only because of you. Thanks, Brandon. Only about 20, Susan. That what do you mean? Oh, you can only use 20 of them, Marlene. Same thing with Facebook. Yeah. I went over to we for a while, and I'm still on that, but I don't know. To me, it's maybe I just need to go and be on there more, but I don't like it as much as Facebook, or what Facebook used to be. But I need to go back there and be on it more. It's limited, yeah. And then Gab, I'm on there too, but I don't know. Somehow these things aren't as easy to navigate as Facebook used to be. I have LinkedIn, watch YouTube docs, and Perry for your show. That's it. Wow. And see, I used to be on LinkedIn. I don't even do LinkedIn anymore. God will use someone to create a better platform for we believers who I pray God gives you the idea to create one. Just that I may have the idea, but I don't have the money behind what that would take. TMZ used to be Gossip Rag TV. Now they are more the real news, Barbara said. I think you maybe outgrow the pages too, like MySpace. I have Perry for about 4 to 5 people, and 3 of them don't use Periscope, but once every 3 months. Something better than just Christian Mingle. I know. Kim Dot is making a Twitter replacement. Huh. Just Twitter and pen for me, not signing up for other stuff. Lee said, it's hard though, because look at this. If we didn't meet on Periscope, how would we connect with each other? We would not be able to connect. We would not be able to get ideas out. Again, Vimeo, I don't use that. I thought Vimeo closed down, or did it? But, for example, too, like I put stuff on Twitter. Used to people would retweet a lot of my stuff. It doesn't happen anymore. It really doesn't happen. My articles don't get retweeted. I would never see my relatives without Facebook. And see, they know that. They know that. I wish I had an interaction thing. I could put that on my website. But, you need something at a certain time where people can show up and people could communicate with each other or get notifications. FaceTime, Skype, I know. But we can't do that with, 5,000 people or anything. I watch YouTube but not subscribe, Lee said. Yeah. You should subscribe to my channel. See, I can't, with my channel, I know I hate Facebook, Marlene said. I need to get more people on my channel, but I don't go out and try to get more subscribers. And I really should, but I could spend all day doing what I do. It's crazy. When you're writing articles and you're getting ready for the next day and this and that, I literally it would be spending all day. We need to know more about how to contact each other in case social media shuts down. True, Teresa. Yes, they know that I even have most important people as see first and don't see them all the time. I know, Robin, it's crazy. Periscope is turning out to be best after all. For now, Barbara, prefer Periscope. Poor Candace Owen, the Dems got to her. Candace Owen, the Dems got in her face. Oh, yeah, well, Antifa. Left is even going after podcasts. Periscope, I'm here to stay for you. I'm fine with not seeing my relatives' pics. I know how to send them personally if they want me to see them. True, Julia. Yeah, your relatives, you know how to get in touch with them, but other people that you've met on here. I've met people and I've actually met and taken pictures with people that had known me from Facebook or Periscope or something like that. One person I've known for 6 years. I would hate to lose contact with that person. Left us another bot. So, I would hate to lose that person, and not see them again after 6 years. Another woman I've known for 7 years. Come on. Sometimes they get more close to you than family, because you know them, you talk to them probably more than your family, most members in your family. Anyway, so, and some really good people. So they know that this is what we have to do to I'd hate to lose you, Susan. Thanks, Carmen. I think they know that this is what we have to do to stay in touch with each other, and they use it. Use it against us. I know I could count on all my friends. Yep. You still have your website, What is Next? GoDaddy, going after the right. Probably. think people use Facebook as a lazy way of keeping in touch. That's just my experience. Yeah, that could be Julia. I mean, it is. Susan, come to Tennessee and take a picture with me. I have a guest room and guest kitchen. Thanks, Teresa. They treat you better and have like ideas. It's true, Barbara. There you go. God will provide by Sue. He can hook you up with the right people. He is able. You know, Josette, if you pray for that, please pray for me that will occur. I also, pray that my show with Bill continues to grow and really gets out there for people who right now need God in their lives more than they have ever needed God. And hopefully we can get that show to grow. If Bill and let me just tell you something. If somebody picked up our show and said to me, Susan, we want you to move to Tennessee so you and Bill could do the show, and it paid me to go there, and it was something that I could live off of and all that, I would go. I would actually go. I would be no problems. Was it Jay Sekulow going to start a TV program? I thought so at one time, Teresa. Google is working with China to censor their internet, so it's natural for them. Exactly, Brandon. I would love to see you in person. I've known you for a long time. I know, Robin. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And that's how I met, remember the whistleblower, Brandon. You could travel to our homes one after the other. Yeah, that would be expensive. But that's how I met my friend Brandon Coleman, but by doing stuff, being on Twitter, being on Facebook, met with him, taking my picture with him, I mean, good Lord. I have a friend who's an atheist and a Trump hater. Well, then they shouldn't be your friend, maybe, Beck? Meet and greet. I know, Brandon. Me too, Susan. Bill and I have often thought about having, and I don't know how we could do it, and it might be too expensive. We were thinking about this past summer of even having a live God's Views on Political News in California, and we were going to try to rent someplace and have people come. Susan, you have no idea I was going to tweet you about Bill, Cloud, and you. Huh? Teresa, see, God's working. But we were going to do that, and I said, I don't know, Bill, it's so expensive. We both have special needs kids, which is why we're friends. There you go, Beck. You have that commonality. Me too, Susan. Monique said, would love to meet you in person. I'd love to meet all you guys in person. But again, like if Bill and I had this, a meet and greet, if you will, in California, I don't know, it's too expensive for people to come out. The crew are my friends these days. I'm satisfied with my connections on here. It keeps me happy, not lonely, Carmen said. Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing, I think. There's a bot. We always have the bot. But a God's View travel bus. I know, Lee. We could, like Dennis Michael Lynch. We could be like a book club. Yeah, Dennis Michael Lynch, who rented a bus and going around and taking all these pictures. We're getting sappy now. I know, Lori. I know. I would be willing to drive a big bus across the country, but I mean, things like that have to be financed. I don't have the ability to finance that type of thing. I mean, Bill and I could travel on a bus with our families, across country for a while. That'd be great. Hey, you could rent a van and travel. The thought just pops from nowhere all the time. Well, it's not from nowhere, Teresa. Trust me. Seems like 1984 and not 2018. Exactly. Exactly. God will finance it. If God wants it, God wills it. God will put it through. I'm in. I really am. I mean, whether it's, a show that wants us or a bus that we travel across country, Bill and his wife, I don't know. I haven't asked Bill about something like that, but see if they would both go, and my husband and I, and then we could have to take our 3 dogs, of course. You can stay with us along the way and have group meetings in areas. Yeah, but Barbara, I got 3 dogs. Nobody's going to want me to stay with them. We'll feed you and dog friendly. Rent a small RV and travel. I'd love to see you, my friend in person, Carmen said. You might want to ask Mr. Knowles first. Lori, you know what? He's pretty open to a lot of things. I've got a bus driving qualification. There you go, Lee. All dogs welcome. Might want to ask him first. It's okay. Did I ask him first about Gracie? I wanted to email him, but I didn't want to without including his wife. Pets welcome, Lynn said. See, that is a great idea. You and Pastor Bill's show would be awesome, and it would grow. I'll get my visa ready for this event. Oh, just that. That'd be so cool. But, I mean, you know, we could do this. Oh, gee whiz, we'll come and get with you on our get you with our RV. Your dogs would love Ollie. Aw, that's so cool, Monique. I mean, you know, this could be done in the summer. This could be done. Anything new with Amir? Brandon said. Amir it was just talking about how things are happening in the Middle East. Iran right now, as you probably know, is trying. They're saying, look, we're going to stop people from going through the straits, you know, of Hormuz, so that you can't take oil there. See the USA and decide where you might move. Right? Wait till after Christmas. We'll have money and can travel. Yeah, it would probably be like next summer would be a good thing. We could do this during the summer. I mean, it could actually happen if it were financed, honestly. I mean, it really could. But it would have to be in the summer. Definitely come to Tennessee to meet. Yeah, oh, absolutely, Carmen. So anyway, Iran wants to stop the oil from flowing through there. And, well, I didn't hear about them not wanting to trade in dollars, but they want to shut down so oil can't get through. And you know that's not going to happen. You know Israel's not going to let that happen. You know the United States is not going to let that happen. We did put sanctions on Iran again, really biting sanctions as the president has described them. And so they're not too happy about it. Yep, spoils equal oil. And Russia is saying they're not too happy about Iran's sanctions. They're probably not happy because they're not getting that much more of Iran's money when there's sanctions. If you guys could retweet, we're at the halfway point, I'd appreciate it. My Sue, and what about Bobby? We cannot forget about her. Yeah, well, Bob wouldn't be able to travel on the bus. Come here and head west on the bus. Yep, or bus. Wow, that went fast. I know, it goes fast. Yeah, my horse would have to stay back, but she'd be fine. She'd be on the ranch. She'd be well taken care of. She'd be fine. But Iran made a comment, basically said, if someone has knife in the hand and seeks talks, he should first put the knife in his pocket. Woo! So that was his response. That used to be a hitchhiker sign in the 60s. I'm sure, Teresa. California or bust. Yeah, and also Rouhani said if the United States government is ready to negotiate about paying compensation from 1953 until now, U.S. owes Iranian nation for its intervention in Iran. I don't think we're going to be going to negotiate with you about 1953 to the president and giving you money. Old Arabian proverb or what? So Iran is sort of living under an illusion. I understand also, or delusion, I understand also that people in Iran right now, that they're really upset, and even the police are starting to side with those who kind of want to overthrow the government in Iran. So we'll see where this is going. I mean, when Iran runs out of money, it is going to help Israel, too, because they won't be able to have those military bases over in Syria. And then, I don't know, for Russia may have to end up taking care of Iran. And they're not going to like that. And maybe they'll just take over Iran. And we won't like that. Yeah, go Iranian people. Exactly. The Iranian people don't like their government for the most part. They are not their government. We should just call them by their old name, Persia. Yeah, exactly. I saw my war with bots. I still say, sweet one, your dad is ashamed. Barbara said. Yeah, so a lot is happening in Israel and the Middle East in general and in Syria. And again, we're really not being told a lot about what's going on. It is totally heated up over there. At least Trump won't leave them hanging like Obama did. Exactly. Oh no, the phone. The Mossad, this is what Amir said too. This was not from Amir. Israel's spy agency may have been behind Saturday's car bombing that killed a Syrian rocket scientist. Meanwhile, China is saber-rattling with more tariffs. Yes. Hey, Robert, good to see you. Aziz Aspar was killed, and they claim it was at least the fourth assassination attempt by Israel in the past 3 years, on foreign soil. This according to the New York Times. Thanks for the flowers, Robert. And this rocket scientist was working on precision-guided missiles that could threaten Israeli cities. Now, they basically said that Israel said, it's not true, we weren't involved. Was listening to a voice Babel app last night and said, Syria, my ears went wrong. There's another bot. Woo, the bots are out in force today. Side note, did you see what happened in Venezuela? Yes, with the drone trying to kill the president over there. That was for Brandon. Yeah. Also, in other news, in talking about the Manafort case, I don't know if you heard yesterday, but Rick Gates, who's basically hasn't been sentenced yet. Good morning. Is it JVA? My gosh. Hey, Jerry. Rick Gates has testified he conspired with Manafort to commit fraud. So he said that yesterday, and everybody went woo and crazy. And maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But Gates is a no good skunk. Well, Gates is like Podesta and other people who went over there and to make money, and they probably didn't report the money, so they wouldn't have taxes on it, like a lot of those other people. Darts in the dark, yeah. And they didn't sentence Gates yet, I'm sure, because they said, hey, we'll go light on you if you go against Manafort, and so they haven't sentenced him yet. Gates, I swear. So, that's what's happening there. Now, the judge is still not happy with the prosecutors. Apparently, yesterday, after they sent the jurors out, they had another 10-minute conversation, kind of a heated conversation, so from what I understand, between the prosecutors and the judge. The judge asked them basically, why are you taking so long with Gates? Because they want to put Gates back on the stand again today. So it was like several hours yesterday. We want to bring him back several hours today. He also asked why the prosecution is focusing on the link between the Ukrainian politicos and Manafort. He said the connection was not the basis of the case. What matters is that he made money from them and didn't report it. That's where the fraud comes in. It doesn't matter who they are, how rich they are, what their connection is with, with Russia, the Kremlin, or anything else. What matters is if in order to prove the fraud, you have to show there was a connection with them. They made money from them, and then they didn't report it. That's where the fraud comes in. And that's all that really matters. Also, the judge got really upset with one of the prosecutors because when he would speak to him, the prosecutor wouldn't look him in the eye. He would look down. And so the judge is like, why are you not looking at me when I'm speaking to you? Interesting, trying to share, and it kicked you out. Wow. And so the prosecutor said, well, I'm just looking at documents. And he goes, well, you're kind of looking down like you're saying, to imply what I'm saying is BS. I know. So you can tell that that the judge is like fed up with the prosecution. We already seen this show on Fox? You mean you already saw this show on Fox? Is that what you were trying to say? Yes, that judge is a bit into it. Yeah, the judge is pretty upset with what's going on. I think he just thinks that it's a lousy put together case. And Bob, there's nothing for Manafort to flip on. You keep saying you don't think Manafort will flip. There's nothing to flip on. There's no fraud that the president did. There's nothing that the president did wrong that Manafort would flip on. Hooked on fawning bots. I know. And so again, you have a special counsel that is put together, spinning, hey, Dixie Doodles, while the judge is hammering. I know. But you have a special prosecutor that's put together in order to bring a case against some people for fraud that happened years ago. The judge is in control. Yep. Good to see you, Dixie. Shows how desperate people are to stop the truth. I know. I like this judge. He probably sees through these people. Josette, exactly. What happened to the rescue dog? You mean Gracie? Gracie is doing well, Bob. None of this with man is connected to the president. With Manafort is connected to the president. Thought he was cleared of this once. He was, Barbara. There was Rod Rosenstein who did an investigation on this about Manafort years ago. I think it was 2005 or 6, and they cleared him. But again, they'll say, oh, but there's more information added to that, and now we need to look at this information, I'm sure. But the judge isn't happy. That doesn't mean the judge is going to rule against them, though. Jack Posobiec just reported Gates had access to Manafort electronic signature. And see, that's what's going to happen, Jerry. When Manafort puts Gates up on the stand, they're going to say that Manafort had access to those type of things, and Manafort did the fraud. I mean, that Gates did the fraud, not Manafort. So Gates had access to Manafort's signature, and Gates is the actual one who did the fraud, not Manafort. That's what he's going to say. Yep, it's a he said, exactly. Yes, going to get messy. Yep, it's going to get messy. And it's amazing how Gates was so readily just like, yes, we committed fraud. And again, because he's afraid of what they're going to sentence him to, and he's playing along. They want to so desperately tie something to Trump. They do. They do. They do. They'll do anything. You know, we might find that maybe somewhere along the line, President Trump, when he was a little boy, maybe he stole a Band-Aid. And maybe they can link that to him. And say, look, he steals things. He stole a Band-Aid when he was 9 years old. That's about all they're going to find. But they'll keep digging. And they'll keep this going. They'll do anything like keep Maxine in office. Yep, Brandon. Yep. You know, and again, we have been, let's see, sister goes for eye surgery and port leaving today. Marilyn Anderson going to be a radical treatment. Oh, we wish her well, Carmen. He sold lemonade with no help. I know. There you go. Manafort didn't know. Yeah, Manafort didn't know Trump back then. I mean, it's crazy. Manafort was with Trump what, a couple of months. So what they're trying to get to is, well, in that couple of months, what did Manafort do? Did Trump tell him to go to Russia and steal things for, you know, get the election and help Putin do it? I mean, come on. They just want the appearance that Trump did something wrong to go through the 2018 and 2020. They'll find he stole a piece of candy. Right, exactly, Carmen. He was 5 years old and he stole a piece of candy. Conviction. Collusion. All at 5. Have you already discussed the Antifa attack on Candace Owens? No, haven't yet, Rhonda. Yesterday, Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk, who is the head of the organization Campus Reform, were basically having lunch. I believe it was Philadelphia. I'm not sure. They were standing outside the restaurant, and Antifa, those wonderful people, started saying things to them. He didn't know about signature fraud. Not everybody knows about a signature fraud. Things can happen without you knowing it if somebody has access to everything they need. It's possible. So at one point, the Antifa person threw water on Charlie Kirk, which, again, is an assault and battery. Why that person wasn't arrested, I don't know. I got the water cup at Taco Bell and decided to put DP on it. I guess very bad. I find it ironic that America meddles in other countries' elections. Why do you find it ironic? Is it gawk? People meddle in our elections. We meddle in their elections. Were they wearing masks? No, Brendan, they weren't. I think one person did have a little hanky on his nose. But then they started talking about white supremacy. And as you know, Candace Owens is black. And she said, we love the police, we love our president, we love our country. And they're like, get in there. Oh, it was just so bad. It got worse as she said that. Even Fox News is hoping that something comes out of this to make POTUS look bad. Yes, even Fox News, which isn't that way anymore. You don't even have to say even Fox News. They're going more left, of course. But this morning I read an article. Yeah, okay, thanks. I read an article this morning about the fires, I think it was in California. And this Fox writer said the fires were caused by climate change, or the heat was caused by climate change. I'm like, what? This is Fox? This is a Fox contributor now saying, basically we believe in climate change? Unbelievable. So Fox has really gone to the left. And I know there was one guy this morning, too, in Israel, a reporter in Israel who'd been with Fox for 9 years. He quit. And he said that, that he was out. Lightning and drought is now climate change. Exactly. Yeah, Fox is getting wackos on there. Yep. And so the reporter in Israel, didn't really say why he was quitting, but others were saying that he didn't like the way that the company was going, organization was going. Trump tweeted about the fires in Cali, climate radicals not helping. Yeah, Julia, exactly. Is Maxine Waters their leader? She told people to attack. Yes, Maxine Waters is their leader. She did tell them to attack. Poor forestry management is now climate change. Exactly. And Marlene, here's the problem in California. First of all, the water, the rain that we get, when we do get rain, what does Jerry do? Jerry lets that go right back into the ocean. He doesn't collect that. So we have no water to use. We could use that for other things. Yeah, she needs to reclaim time in jail, Maxine does, Brandon said. Oh, wow, how shocking. I didn't know that about Fox. Yep. Fox is over 60% lib reporters, and Murdoch owns, so it will swing more left. Yes, it will. And you'll see Shepard Smith being at the head of a lot of things on there. Thoughts on Alex Jones' ban from all of social media? We talked about that in the beginning, Rhonda. We hit record temps this summer. Yeah, it happens. How are the white streets working? I know. That's not near me. Smelt. So, I mean, basically California doesn't, they want to be, we're all for climate control, climate change, everything, and we're going to do things to help the environment. And they do just the opposite most of the times. Are there laws about collecting rainwater? Not in California, not yet. I understand in Colorado, it's against the law to collect rainwater, which really blew me over when I found that out, because I thought Colorado would absolutely allow it. Yeah, Inks, Texas had been fired too. Yeah. Oh, Inks Lake. Yeah, I heard Colorado. I was watching, you could go back and check, but I was watching a show on like HGTV, and they were making tiny houses. And the people said, yeah, we're building a tiny house. We're going to live off grid. But right now in Colorado, it's illegal to gather rainwater, to collect rainwater. I went, whoa, what? It's hot here today. I know it was nothing to do with it being August and summertime. That's right, Robin. It's all about climate change. So, I mean, absolutely ridiculous stuff. Now, there's somebody that you need to feel sorry for. There is an MS-13 gang member. Tax it like cow farts. Exactly. Well, they will. They will. There's a MS-13 alleged kingpin that illegal in Austin to use your gray water. Wow. Well, that's Austin for you. Hubby told me that rainwater will be regulated or illegal. He said it over a year ago. Yep, California actually lifted having to get a permit to collect rainwater. Starts January 2019. Does the ignorance of millennials go back to 70s parents doing drugs with kids? The Carmen said. I tell the Colorado government to keep the rainwater off my house. There you go, Alan. They make tiny houses 5 miles from me, can pull with a trailer. I know, Teresa. Some of those aren't bad looking. Imagine only Sean and Laura spoke about what happened to Charlie and Candace Owens. Dana Perino makes subtle jabs at POTUS when ready. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's getting worse on Fox. Sean Hannity, I don't know what Sean's going to eventually do. Sean's got to find someplace else to go. Somebody put crazy pills in the water. Yeah. I mean, California would probably come to your house to see if you had rainwater. I watch tiny house shows. Some are very cute. I think so too, Jerry, especially if you were parked in front of the ocean. It wouldn't be so small. You wouldn't feel like you were in a box. Joy Villa was on YouTube and attacked by Trump star. Yeah, I don't follow Joy Villa at all. Tiny houses, yeah, till you try to move around in them. Tiny houses usually illegal because of minimum square foot requirements. Huh. Wow. Well, they got people living on the street in boxes and in tents. So if they can do that, why can't they be in a tiny house? So anyway, this MS-13 alleged kingpin has been whining to the judge about discrimination he faces in jail. He said there's a lack of phone access. He's being locked up and it's unbearable. And he's receiving death threats. And inmates call him names. Tiny houses are illegal, but you have bums shooting up into... Well, that's what Brandon, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so this poor little MS-13 guy... Who MS-13 goes around killing people, cutting them into body parts, but he's unhappy. Darn it, he doesn't have a phone. It's a way to keep poor from home owning, no manufacturer or tiny. Well, the millennials seem to like the tiny homes. So I don't know. I mean, I honestly, if you're putting in a tiny home in front of an ocean, I'm okay. I don't care if it's 300 square feet, 400, somewhere in there. I don't know that would be a great living space, but if you have an ocean to look at, I might be able to do it. Many in my generation don't own their homes. Yeah, but you know what, Brandon? Millennials are coming back around to wanting to own homes. Yeah, it has to be in an area with no HOA ban. What in the world? It's prison. What does the jerk expect? I know. Well, he wants his little rights there, Robin. Aw, no right to bear phones. I know. Isn't that sad, Alan? Don't you feel sorry for him? He's being called names in jail. I mean, that's just horrible. Can you imagine what names they're calling? I know, now MS-13 snowflakes. I mean, how bad has it gotten? As long as it's by the ocean. That's right, Monique. Put me in front of the ocean, I'm fine. Yeah, but this poor little guy. So maybe we should all get together and send him phones. Little phones that have been paid for. Some tiny homes now have pop-out side extensions like motorhomes. Yep. Sears used to sell the DIY house kit. Wow. I mean, I've seen these people making them. You never vote? Well, you should if you're an American. These homes are really cute. And I saw one guy who was... no, elections aren't always rigged, only by the left. The point of prison is to remind you how it feels to be disrespected. I don't know, Rhonda. I thought the point of prison was to give you, like if you couldn't afford a membership to the gym, they could give you equipment to work out on. You could get all buff and everything. And so, I thought that was more in line with what prison was all about. Giving you an ability, if you can't afford a gym membership, to be able to go to prison and work out every single day, play basketball, things like that. Prison was for rehab at one point. I know, Brandon, and it totally lost that. Totally lost what it was for. Because when you take these people out of prison, put them back on the streets, what have they learned? For the most part, they're going to reoffend because they've learned nothing. But you know what? Maybe prison wouldn't be so attractive if they went back to breaking rocks every day. And I know we can't do that now because that's cruel and unusual punishment. So now we have to give them, like I said, like a gym atmosphere, playing basketball, things of that nature. Especially in winter when it's cold. I know. Has anybody seen those yurts Now, see, if you lived in warm climate all year round, yurts would probably be great. But in the wintertime, not so sure. Criminals want a social club atmosphere, then don't commit the crime. Exactly, Jerry. Put them to work. I know. Breaking rocks every day. That wasn't so fun, breaking rocks. But we would not be able to do that now. I mean, look at what Arpaio did. What are your thoughts on the laws on cannabis? I think when you have an absolute medical reason for cannabis, then you should be able to get cannabis. But my fingernail broke, and I need a cannabis is ridiculous. And people do use hemp and stuff like that. Yurts sometimes have wooden stuff. Yeah, they do. Yurts are too round for me. But you know what, Jerry? If you see some of them, like that show on Hawaii, they can separate them out. Folks shouldn't be in jail for life for marijuana. Depends, Brandon, on what they did to get the marijuana and why they're in jail. I mean, if they broke into somebody's house, robbed their house, killed the person inside, set fire to, they should be in jail for the rest of their lives. So, I mean, it's kind of... But if they were in possession and they didn't do anything else, that's a different story. Just weed, no, but other crimes, yes, yeah. Don't be surprised if CNN comes to his defense. Yeah, I know. They will. They'll say that poor MS-13, I'm sure that he was separated by President Trump from his mommy. We need to start growing hemp again. But if you gives me yurt with the beach property, I'll take it. There you go, Jerry. We need to start growing hemp again. That was the bot. People use hemp oil all the time. I give hemp oil to Gracie. Helps calm her down, supposedly. I don't think anything does, but hemp oil is good for you, in other regards, too. I missed the story about my MS-13. Oh, there's an MS-13 guy who's alleged to be a kingpin, which is, supposedly a real tough guy who orders people to be killed. He says that he's facing discrimination in jail, and he's not happy about it. He doesn't have phone access. He doesn't like being locked up because it's unbearable. And he's receiving death threats. And his inmates call him names. Rand Paul is hemp proponent because Kentucky makes rope and clothes with it. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with hemp oil. I mean, I really don't. Hemp of anything like that. Hemp's not illegal. If they were high, driving, killed someone, life in prison. Exactly, Robin. Kentucky grows hemp. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with growing hemp. It's not the hemp that's illegal. No weekly manicures. Hemp shampoo is great. Yeah, I mean, seriously, hemp is supposed to be good for helping anxiety. That's why I give it to Gracie. But I don't think it really works with her. Honestly, I don't. I don't think anything would calm her down. They made it illegal at one point, and Rand Paul had to argue. Yeah, I don't get it. It's not the marijuana. It's the leaves. It's not the leaves, In Louisiana, they didn't use fences at prison, guard on the horse, shoot to kill, and work garden fields, Carmen said. George Washington grew hemp. Yeah. I mean, what's wrong with hemp? Has none of the THC properties. Yep. CBD oil is supposed to be good for cancer too. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. You can use the hemp oil instead of things like the fish oil and stuff like that. Hey, Jules, I can't take the fish oil. I've tried taking hemp oil. Oh, that's okay, Jules. You might want to listen to the replay. We talk about a lot of stuff. I've tried taking the fish oil, but it doesn't work. The hemp oil, it tastes disgusting. I won't be on tomorrow, Jules. I'll be back on Thursday. So, hemp lotion is awesome. Hemp oil helps with chronic pain and anxiety, Robin said. Poor baby, wonder if he's ever felt the same way about his victims. Maybe they'll learn something. Monique, I doubt it. It's all about him. And hemp is strongest rope made. I like your show. Well, thank you. Thank you for liking the show. Versavice. Sailors use it. My rheumatologist recommended the oil for my arthritis. Wow. Have you ever tasted the hemp oil? I love the emerald colored carpet at your house. Thank you. Thanks. See you at 1. Okay, Marlene. Cool. Especially next to white stairs. Yeah. Brightens it up. But the hemp oil, just, I don't know. If you could take it with something or take a hemp oil pill, I think that would be good. Thank you, Jules. It tastes, I don't know, I can't even describe it, Jerry. It doesn't really have any taste that's familiar. It just kind of just, greasy, oily, and strong. My hemp oil has a slight peppermint taste. See, I could take that, Robin. Maybe I better switch. But mine's like an organic thing. It's been a fast hour. All right, you guys got to go. Please watch God's Views on Political News on the Facebook page with the same name, live today at 1 o'clock Eastern. That's an hour from now. Put chocolate in it. There you go. All right, guys, I will see you back on Thursday. Hope to see you over on the live show in an hour where you can comment and ask questions. Take care. God bless you. See you then. Hey, Daniel. All right, God bless everybody on YouTube. We will see you on Thursday. Take care.